The one thing we can't live without, a video game controller, and you are considering buying one of those nice, fancy new ones. But don't! At least not until you look at this. I have lots of video game controllers. The Xbox Elite version 2, fantastic controller. The PDP Vitrix BFG, fantastic controller. Even the PlayStation DualSense, fantastic controller, mostly for one reason, which I'll get to in a second. This is the Razer Wolverine Pro version 3, and it is the most ergonomic controller I've ever held in my hands. Now let me start this off by saying this controller is designed for like tournament level play. Now something like the Xbox Elite is not built with tournament play in mind, though it is built very well. I love this controller, feels great in the hand, but let me explain why. First off, it's the only time I've ever held a controller in my hands and my fingers actually rest naturally right on the back buttons. And a lot of it has to do with the curvature of this controller. Now I'm willing to admit the shape is just a very subjective thing to how I hold my hands. But let's talk about the buttons. The buttons on the Wolverine version 3 are not like any buttons on a controller that I've ever used before either. This is the click of the Elite controller. Sounds like a normal controller, right? Pretty soft. This is the click of the Wolverine version 3. This is like a keyboard switch. Again, this is a very subjective thing, but I've never really held a controller quite like this. So this is the perfect controller, right? Well, not really. There actually is a couple of things I don't like about it. So first off, every other like pro level controller has the replaceable D-pad. The Wolverine version 3 doesn't have a replaceable D-pad. This is something that I think you're only gonna need if you're like a fighting game style person. I am not. So again, subjective thing. But the biggest thing I wish this thing had, and I wish any of these other controllers would start adapting, is the only reason I still use a DualSense, but it has a gyroscope in it. As I've gotten older, my aim and my dexterity in first-person shooters have gotten worse. So I actually use gyroscope aiming in a lot of games like Call of Duty and Fortnite. Unfortunately, the Wolverine version 3 and all of these other pro controllers do not have that function. This thing does have Hall effect sticks, because a Hall effect thumbstick is never gonna give you drift. The Wolverine version 3 Pro by Razer, it retails for $199. This was sent to me to test out by Razer. You can check out my first impressions and full-length YouTube video that I just posted when I unboxed this thing and held it for the very first time.